Minnesota Vikings and the Chicago Bears. This is 3 in favor of the Vikings on the road against the Bears. 43.5 to 44 is your total. Of course, the big story here, Adam, no Justin Jefferson, and we're no Justin Jefferson for the foreseeable future. Bears, what? Signs of life over the last couple of weeks? I mean, that's pretty much the way to explain it. Certainly at least a connection between Fields and Moore, so that's got to make you feel a little bit better. On the Bears side, they should be getting back 3 starters on the defensive side of the ball, 2 of which are in the secondary. So this defense that has been absolutely atrocious might actually be a little bit better. I played the under, man. I played it at 44.5, so they're still 44. So it's not like I have that much better of a number than what's out there. I think the Vikings will be fine trying to adjust as we move forward, but in a week, I don't know how you just figure out an offense without Jefferson being out there. And then on the Bears side of things, I think the defense might be a tad better getting these guys back as well. And of course, we know the Bears offense is just not all that great. And so I played under 44.5.
Pass overall for me, too many variables to try to factor in. I actually think the Minnesota offense is going to be fine. They're not going to be as good. Clearly, you don't lose Justin Jefferson and just straight up replace him. But you're talking about an offense that still has multiple skill position players that are above average. I mean, TJ Hawkinson, probably for our purposes, is one of the 5 or 6 tight ends in the league who actually would matter if you took him away for the purpose of the point spread. You talk about KJ Osborne and Jordan Addison, and you feel like you've got two competent receivers to be able to throw in there as well. So I trust in the fact that Minnesota is going to figure it out. But beyond what you just said, that they've only had a week to know this, Matt, you also have to look at the fact that this is another one of the weather games this week, and it's a wind game. And again, the wind could be a factor when Minnesota is trying to figure out a passing offense, and you can't just throw the ball to Justin Jefferson and say, here, go get it. So on the other side of this, you're going to hear a lot about Justin Fields versus the blitz and how bad Justin Fields has been versus the blitz and how much Brian Flores likes to blitz. The blitz rate is actually down fairly significantly in the last 2 weeks for Brian Flores. Will he dial it back up in a game where you might be able to try to win by forcing Justin Fields into turnovers? Yeah, I think it's entirely possible. But all told, way too much between the weather and the Minnesota offensive adjustment for me to want to get involved here.
Steven, what you say here in the Vikings Bears?
You know me, never scared. So this dip below 3, and I took some Vikings -2.5 here. Really,
I don't hate it. I don't hate it. No. I mean, I don't hate it. I mean,
just selling high on the Bears, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
for the most part here. I mean, this is the best the Bears have looked in a little bit. I'm still skeptical that this is not a bottom 5 team in the NFL. And I think all those points Adam just made about the Vikings are fair with Justin Jefferson. Look ahead line was 4.5 when Jefferson was healthy, reopened 3.5 when most of us knew at that point Jefferson probably was at least going to miss this week, if not more. When it dipped below 3, that's where the buyback started. I was part of it. So that's kind of where I'm at here, just taking a flyer, but I certainly understand the concerns here with the wind and the Vikings relying on a passing game, whereas the Bears can rely a little bit more on a running game. So might be a live betting opportunity here for me, honestly, to try and just middle this number. If the Vikings get an early score and I can get something higher on the Bears here in a win game.
And Matt, just to add to the point here before we move on, I don't know where the TJ Hawkinson number will come out on receptions. I would assume it's probably around 5.5. If it's at 5.5, I will be taking a piece of over on that.